In fact, this is also mentioned in Ramayana. You know, when Hanumanji and Ramji meet for the first time, so Sri Ram says, after listening to the way Hanumanji talks, that the way he speaks sounds like he has studied the Vedas. After that, when Hanumanji goes to Lanka and sees Sita ji in Ashok Vatika, then he is thinking, in which language should I talk? If I speak in Sanskrit, she will be confused about who I am. If I don't speak in Sanskrit, she will not trust me. So which language should I speak in? He is actually thinking about that.
And in the end, I think Hanumanji sang a song for Sita in the voice of Udit Narayan. Sorry, this is a joke from the animated Ramayana.
He sang a song. He sang it in Sanskrit.
This one's an immensely special episode of TRS because it's a blockbuster Hindi podcast from back in 2022. It's centered around the topic of Shri Krishna and his story. This is the first time we are uploading an AI dubbed podcast on our English channel. So what I need from you guys is patient listening, detailed feedback, and detailed direction in terms of whether or not you guys want more AI dubbed videos in English. This is especially for those audiences whose Hindi isn't as strong as their English, and it's for those audiences who've not consumed that podcast yet. This is Ami Ganatra, who returns on TRS for our first ever AI dubbed Hindi to English podcast.
This is another Mahabharat special. Ami Ganatra ji,
Is back on TRS English.
welcome back, Ami Ganatra.
Thank you so much, Ranveer. I always enjoy talking to you.
Ami ji, again, I have a lot to learn from you today. If we talk about Mahabharat according to you, what should we address first? And what do you think? What is your point of view regarding Mahabharat?
First of all, idam Krishnaya, idam namama. Whatever I am saying is what I have learned from my guru, from Krishna. Mahabharata is a religious text which we call history. Last time we talked a lot about Ramayana, right? So we believe in two histories, Mahabharata and Ramayana. History, as I was saying last time, history is a case study of the wisdom that comes from the scriptures, which tells us how to live our lives, how to live up to the endeavors of Dharma, Arth, Kam, Moksha.
What does Dharma Shastra mean?
Dharma Shastra means how to make our lives more worthwhile. How do we live a very fruitful life? So, in Sanatan Dharma, we say that there are 4 goals, Purusharth, towards which we should keep striving, for which we should be prepared, which are Dharma, Arth, Kam, and Moksha. So, Artha is basically resources, right? And we cannot do anything without resources. Without money, without wealth, we cannot do any work. If we see Maslow's hierarchy, first you have to fulfill your physical needs, right? For fulfilling physical needs, you need money and resources. That is the Artha part. And the domestic life that we talk about, that is the part of life. When Artha is produced, resource generation happens from there. Okay? So, it is said that in many other religions, poverty is glorified. But we do not glorify poverty. We are worshippers of Lakshmi, right? So, what does Lakshmi mean? Resources and wealth and prosperity. And that is a part of Artha. Firstly, we have to strive to attain prosperity and wealth. Second is Kama. One meaning of Kama is desire, okay? And the other is lust. Sorry, I shouldn't actually say lust, but the inclination to have intercourse or the attraction that happens. That's what Kama means. Why should there be Kama? If there is no Kama, if there is no physical attraction, then how will Utpatti happen? How will procreation happen?
Or if we look at this from another perspective, to achieve anything, some amount of lust towards it is required.
Desire, correct? First, that comes from within. So even when Utpatti takes place, it is origin, the origin of people. We procreate, right? People will be born only when there is intercourse. And because of that, the population will increase. And One of the reasons behind the Purusharth of Kama is that progeny continues to happen. If there is no procreation, there will be no society. So procreation is necessary for society, right? And you are talking about desire to achieve anything. And to achieve something, if you want to achieve something, first of all, you need to have that desire that I have to do that. So when it comes to creation, when it comes to the creation of the universe, so it is said that first the Brahm Tattva, which is formless, there is no form, no shape, nothing. Then there was no existence. There was neither truth nor the absence of truth. There was neither existence nor non-existence. And at that time, first of all, that tattva desired to create. Okay? So when the desire to create arose, only then it got multiplied. And that creation happened because of multiplication. So we see that the Kama aspect, which is mentioned in the Vedas.
And that means, basically, there was probably the feeling of lust in God's mind as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. Nothing will happen without desire. So that aspect is the aspect of Kama, which is desire to achieve something for betterment, for the progress of society, for advancement. And secondly, for ensuring the birth keeps happening, only then the society will be formed. The third is dharma, or religion. Now, religion is also seen in two ways. One is the religious aspect, the rituals that we keep performing, which is what we talk about, Sanatan Dharma. So from one point of view, we are all worshippers of nature or Prakriti, right? Because we get resources from nature or Prakriti, we survive because of nature. So the way we perform yagna, you know what we do is all about sacrifice or fire sacrifice. Basically, yagna is about satisfying the gods, and in return, the gods will satisfy you. The second aspect of dharma is to live with each other in such a way that there is sustainability. Like if we look at the definition of religion, and I will take some time to explain it.
Sure.
Because Mahabharata, which is your question, is very much related to this. So what is the definition of religion? It is dharayati iti dharma. The root word of religion is. And all our Sanskrit words come from some dhatu or from a root word. So the root word is dhru, which is also the root word of dharti. The root word of dharya is also dhru. Dhru dharane. Dharane means to uphold, to sustain something, due to which something keeps happening, keeps going. When we talk in the yoga of dharana, it's like what we say, to hold that one thought. Then think in your mind and focus on that. Basically holding, upholding, sustaining. That is dhruv. So, dharayati ati dharma. That which upholds and sustains, that is dharma. Now, this is a very big concept. How to understand this in real life, right? So, what should we do? We should live with each other in society in such a way that there is sustainability. We think sustainability is the new term nowadays. It is a woke new term, but no, we lived in sustenance with everything around us. What does this mean? Ecology. Or because we were worshippers of nature, right? Why worship nature? If nature sustains, we will sustain. Apart from this, we have many duties in the society. Like you, yourself. You are someone's son, someone's brother. You also work somewhere. You have your own organization. You run the TRS show. You have so many people who are employed with you, who work for you, right? So if you want to expand TRS, then you have some duties towards it. It is also your duty to pay your employees properly and give them salary regularly. Keep them happy. If your employees have to expand TRS and keep progressing in future, so they will have to properly perform the duties assigned to them. This is your employee-employer dharma. You do your duty and those people will do their duty. Only then your unit of TRS will keep growing. It will keep progressing. Similarly, if you extend a unit to a samaj, it is a society. If all